Hey guys, today we'll be looking at one of the most controversial tools in dog training. It is called the pronged training collar. Hey guys, this is Mark Wright from Argos Dog Training, and today we are going to be showing you our second episode for the Hazel playlist or Hazel series on our Argos Dog Training channel. And in this one, we start to communicate with Hazel. Dogs communicate with their mouth and their teeth. In order to help us communicate in the same way that dogs communicate, we have tools for that. Harnesses are excellent tools. When humans first started to use harnesses with dogs, the purpose was to help the dog to pull by taking tension or pressure off of their neck, off of their trachea, and putting it across their large muscles of their chest and their back. So while humans are very good at creating tools to do what they're supposed to do, the harness is not a tool that was originally intended to help humans create a relationship or a system of communication with the dog. Today we'll be looking at how to introduce a dog to a prong collar. So here we go. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Okay, so we're gonna start communication training with Hazel. And one of the tools we're gonna use is this pronged training collar. Now this collar has a lot of, there's been a lot of things written and said about this collar, but you guys can make up your own mind and your own decision as you see how we use it here, all right? So prong training collar, the idea of this collar is to train the dog. Once the dog is trained, we should no longer need this collar. The reason I like this collar is because it's intended to imitate a mother dog or a more dominant dog and how they use their mouth and teeth, right? So we can make tension and we could release it. We could also make short corrections like that. Can you feel that? You'll feel, I only use a Herm Springer collar because it is German made and it is really well machined. You know, James will feel that there's no sharp edges, there's no burrs on it. It's not intended to puncture or to pierce skin. That will not happen unless someone loses their temper and uses it with emotion, or unless someone is negligent and uses the tool the way it's not supposed to be used. But other than that, it is a perfectly safe tool. There's a ton of videos online of dog trainers correcting themselves with the thing on the collar. I seen one where a guy put one of these on a balloon and started snapping away and it's not even popping the balloon, you know? So it is, it's a pretty good tool. You get to select the leash. This is important. The leash is how we touch the dog. Leash and collar together is the way that we're gonna communicate with the dog, whichever one you like. You only get one.
They're the same length, right?
Yes.
I'll take the red one because it's the black.
Excellent, excellent. When we attach the leash to the collar, we always attach the leash to the same spot. You can hold on to that for now. When we attach the leash for the collar, we always attach to the D-swiveling ring. We never, ever, ever attach to the O-ring on the collar. So this goes here, right? When we put the collar on, I generally like it if you put your collar on first thing in the morning. As soon as the dog comes out of the crate, you pet the dog, you say hi. If the dog is not in the crate right now, that's okay. You still pet your dog, say hi. Later on, we'll get the dog in the crate and coming out of the crate. Pet, say hi. You'll see how I introduce the tool, and then I just put it right on her. I leave it on the dog whenever I'm in the house with the dog. If I'm leaving, if I'm taking her on a walk, of course it's on. If I leave her alone in the house, I take it off. If I put her in her crate, I take it off, all right? I don't want this to get caught on anything when I'm not around, and then, you know, that could cause panic, all right? To take the collar apart, what I do is, first of all, I never take it apart from here, because you can see those two holes are real small in the center plate. And that'll be harder to put back in than down here. I never take off from the end plates either, because you can see that these links are different, right? The end plate links are different than the other links. These are pretty easy to get replacements for, while the end plate links, you have to buy a new collar. And right now, I think this is like a $60 collar, might be even more than that. When I take it apart, what I want to do, first of all, first thing in the morning when I'm putting it on, I'm going to check and make sure it's moving smoothly. But when I'm ready to take it apart, I select the link I want to take apart from, and I secure that link. What I mean by that is I'm going to take it off from here, and if I just try to just move it now, this is moving around. This link is moving around. I need to secure that. So now it won't move, right? I need to keep my finger out of the way here so I could push the loop off the end of the hook, right? So here's my hand. I put my thumb right there, and I push towards the ground. Simple. When I'm ready to put it back together, I put my fingers in pinching position, and then I line up I line it up, and then at the last moment here, I'll do just a little squeeze, and it goes in. All right? Apart, together. All right, apart, together. All right, James, see if you could take that apart. I'll hold on to this for now.
Yeah, it's such a business.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Excellent. So here you go. So when you put it together, you have to make sure that you don't twist your chain. A lot of the times, this is so easy to do when we're putting it together. So we have to be careful of that. We don't want to have it twisted. All right. See that twist there? And that's just a simple untwist.
Can you show the twist one more time?
Like that. All right. Here's the twist again. Like that. That's what it looks like. And untwist. Like that. All right. Excellent. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna size this collar for Hazel. Looking at Hazel and looking at my collar, I think I'm gonna have to remove 3 or 4 links from the collar. I think I'm gonna start with 3, all right? So when I do that, I wanna keep the collar as evenly spaced as possible. The collar comes with 5 links on either side of the center plate. I took 2 out of one side. Because I'm removing 3, it will not be even, but I wanted to try. What did I just do? I almost put that one that I just took out back in. I want to try to keep it even as possible. So one side is going to be out. One side is going to have 1 out. You can see there's 4 there and there's 3 here, but that's okay. So next thing is taking it apart. I'm going to take apart from here. But the thing is that we have an opportunity now to condition a brand new tool that she hasn't ever used before, right? She's never used this before. So we have the opportunity to condition the tool and to make associations right from the beginning. Okay, so when you're using any tool with a dog, or you're bringing your dog into any situation, or you're doing anything new with a dog, right? There's multiple ways to do it. There are the hard ways, the ways that people usually use when they're being impatient, when they're in a rush. And there are the easier ways that require less force, that allows the dog to get used to, the new things in the environment and the new situations that they're going to be in. Whenever we're introducing anything new, I look for the easiest way, the least stressful way to introduce it to the dog, because stress is my enemy. And if I'm trying to teach a dog something, it helps if they are not stressed out. So we always look for the easiest, most stress-free way, the way that gets the dog's tail wagging, the way that gets the dog interested in the new thing that we're going to be introducing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over here to her and I'm going to shake my collar and I'm going to give her food. I'm going to shake the collar and I'm going to give her food. This is kind of like Pavlov and the bell, in that in time, when she hears that collar shaking, she's gonna be able to think, food might be coming or will be coming. I like to do that the first few times when I'm introducing the collar. Another thing I like to do is to put the collar on as smoothly and as easily as possible onto the dog. So what I go is I reach down into my treat pouch here, and I reach all the way to the bottom where a lot of the crumbs are. So I take my treats here, I let her know I have them, and then I reach down to the ground and I make a nice little line. You can see when I make that line, here you go. Let's go, pup, over here. I want to turn her around just a little bit towards this treat. Here, here. So what you'll see is that as she starts eating the treats, once she gets to it, she drops her head down and that puts her head in a pretty stable position. This will allow me to slip underneath, come right up, and to attach her collar. I did that pretty good. I sized that pretty well. When I put the collar on the dog, I want to put the collar up high behind the ears. There are two large bones that are directly behind the pup's ears, right here. And I want my collar to rest just to the back of those bones, so towards her rear end. I want my center plate, to be by her left ear. And I want to make sure that my round ring is evenly spaced between the two end plates. So I can feel where my end plates are, and that's pretty evenly spaced. All right, so that is pretty much in the right position. And yeah, that's pretty much in the right position. You can see, other than her struggling to reach those treats, you can see that she does not mind. The collar, her demeanor, her temperament, the way that she's acting or behaving is pretty much exactly the same. So it needs to be snug, but if you look, you could get, like if I want to, I could get all my fingers underneath. And even when I do, she does not look stressed. She does not look in any way like it's bothering her, right? Any questions about that?
I wondered, should we take this off?
No, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
We're about to take off the harness though.
Oh, okay.
Just unclip that way. She's still down there eating. That comes off. Now she's attached to the pronged training collar. And the first lesson I want her to understand is that when she hits the end of the leash, it feels like what it feels like. So I hold here. Good girl. She just hit the end right there. We saw no problem from her. She jumped around. She turned around real quick. But I want to keep my hands really close to my body, and I want her to understand that when she hits the end of the leash, it just feels like that. I didn't do anything. That's just what it feels like when she chooses to hit the end of the leash, right? So I keep my hands close there. Good girl. And then I want to give her food. I want her to associate that feeling, if it's uncomfortable or comfortable, whatever it feels like. I want her to associate that when she feels that, there's a good opportunity, possibly, that she could have food. All right, so hit the like, subscribe, because we're gonna come out with another video or episode in this series where we start to show more of our leash communication with Hazel. You're gonna see a big transformation in this dog. The only way you're gonna see it is if you like and subscribe and you hit the little bell, so that way you get your notifications. While you're at it, check the description below for other links to our other social media outlets. And until the next time, enjoy your day and enjoy your dog. And I'm gonna make a line across the ground with them. Can you reach that? Did I mess that up? I think you can reach it. Oh, I messed that up. That might be too far.
You want me to cut?
Yeah.